Okay, I'm going to give this a try, a new direction, a correction. Fix some things that I know that's wrong with me. I know without a doubt pushing information never ever works. And I know mostly I may appear like I'm pushing information, but I'm doing it from a perspective that this is just a diary. It's just a freaking computer. I don't really see that people out there are really real. And I think everybody kind of maybe subconsciously is doing that too, because it's kind of more freeing. Um, Not attaching yourself that you're actually talking to other people. But when you maybe just come from a perspective, okay, if I was going to write a diary, what would I say? And if my diary is all about this is what I want the world to know, I really wish the world would see it from my perspective. Is how I come at doing this video. So if anybody thinks that it's really natural, it's like, well, I'm just in a room talking to myself. And it's like not really talking to myself. If you're a writer, it's like writing a book. Some people write books. My purpose, because of the injuries, your health problems will guide you towards what you're supposed to be doing in the first place. I knew I should have been doing this at a very young age, had no idea how to communicate this. Um, and I kept, as much as I kept saying, this is what I think is right, and everybody in the world kept saying, no, you're wrong. I kept thinking, okay, maybe it's me. So I did a lot of work on me. I read a lot of self help books. I joined every religion. I tried everything out that everybody suggested was a good idea. Resulted in a hell of a lot of abuse, and my body's crippled, and I'm on a welfare system. And I'm a workaholic. And I've read a lot. I don't think I'm stupid. I mean, I only had a grade 9 education because I didn't really like what they weren't teaching me anything in school, so I quit. I think I'm not alone there when most people are in high school and you're not learning anything. And it's not because you're not capable of learning, it's just too fucking easy. It's stupidity that was going on. I'm 52 and I seen the stupidity in the education system when I was in there. And this is the beginning. There was no computers. There was these big, huge, massive mainframes. It took me 2 seconds to do anything in that class. Um, and they were punch hole cards. There was a marketing class that the teacher loved me in his classroom because I stimulated the whole friggin' classroom because um, any ideas that were out there, I would always go against the whole friggin' classroom, and everybody hated me because I was always different and I was never ever accepted anywhere. And but my teacher loved me because while everybody was so pissed off at me, it got everybody talking. And he says the kids that end up leaving his classroom were the ones that I was in because I forced them to have the conversation. And when I quit school, that teacher told me that I was doing the right thing in quitting and said one day I was really going to go far. I never went anywhere really. I was a stay at home mom who, for most of my kids' lives, had to have somewhat of an absent mother because I had to try and work at gaining a career so I could leave an abusive marriage. You don't marry an abusive guy. You kind of marry somebody that's, telling you nice things. Then you marry them and you have kids and you find out they don't really want to support kids. They don't want to put family first. Cheating, spending money on self and not feeding kids. I didn't know what I was getting into until after it happened. So the course I want to take is, I know the only way I got smart. And okay, I was going to try and make a point that I think I am smart basically, because these classes I aced all the time. Math, I got 100%, but they told me they wouldn't give me 100% because they never give out 100%. Art, I aced. Geography, they told nothing but lies in geography. This is going to end up being, the actual change in me is going to be seen in the second tape. So if you want to fast forward to see what I'm going to change, because it's going to be asking questions and just trying to learn how to make videos that just have interesting questions. But can you see I'm 6 minutes into this and I'm challenged? I know I should be asking good questions. My intelligent mind says, Judy, you should be asking better questions, but I can't ask questions. And I'm just giving information. But to get on the point of being smart, I think, is I the best year of my life was when I did finally stand up for myself and leave that abusive marriage, and I put myself through programming school while this man was putting me through fucking hell. I mean, this man was having me in court day in and day out and was harassing me, causing a lot of shit prior to any court with kids and on weekends. The stories, the lies, the encouragement for the kids to physically attack me. They would get off the phone and then physical violence would happen. And nobody knows that's happening. The kids didn't even see themselves doing it. So I know when I see people doing things, they don't see themselves doing it. You can only see this picture through unconditional love. And you can see what's happening through your kids, and you have a good understanding of why they're doing the things they're doing. And they don't know what they're doing. Like a lot of us don't know what we're doing. It's this self-awareness, this awakeness is pretty deep, learning who you are. But you can only learn who you are if you ask some good questions, because if you're forced to answer it, poof, then you got it. But in that year, I took programming. And I squeezed a 2-year programming course in 1 year. So it was like a self-directed, so you can't be lazy. You're to accomplish something like that. And I graduated, I think, with an 89%, and I was 41, I think, at the time, and I had been out of school since a teenager and only had a grade 9 education. So, and they didn't want me in school because they didn't think I could handle it, because they could see the level of stress that my ex-husband was doing. I was a complete wreck. The first month was when you're dealing with a challenge like trying to leave abuse, you think everybody's out there to help you, but actually the whole system is designed to make life a living hell. Nobody's there to make anything easy, while we think the system is out there, because while everybody else pays for their education and has the same amount of time to accomplish that job as all others, I spent like a month first arguing for the ability to stay in school. They were basically just because they thought I couldn't handle it. I could pass the entrance exams, but they didn't think I could handle it and it'd be a waste of time. So for the first month, I had to prove that I could do it. And so that put me way behind everybody else. So I had to constantly keep up on the schedule, deal and raise 4 children. Well, one was older, but still around and needed a mother, and an ex-husband and his new wife, raising hell and encouraging my kids to beat the crap out of me just about every weekend, with a legal system that is rewarding him all the time. It was so screwed up. But graduating in that year when all of that happened, um, I programming got 89% and on time. So I think I'm a little smart. Um, and my intelligence says I should ask good questions. So that's the new direction that I'm going to try to work. We'll see how good I'm at. I suck at quitting smoking, basically because I know I'm challenged with this. As soon as I figure this out, myself out, and get something rolling within myself, I know I'm going to create the purpose. And that's what everybody's doing is like, nobody's noticing you're all dying. Everything you're doing is killing yourself. You're all worried about, I mean, that's uh, the one thing that we all, here is the question. How do I word this in the question? Um, if everything out there is killing you, are you doing anything that's killing you? Are you smoking? Are you doing drugs? Are you taking any kind of medication that really, really deep down you know is actually doing you harm? Are you um, doing a job that's creating any form of stress in your life? Stress kills. If you want to find the cure to all illnesses, if in a magical world the human body is designed to live forever, basically by getting rid of the causes, and one of the main causes that is killing all of human life is stress. So, stress in your life should be a sin, right? If it's killing you. Wouldn't religion says don't ever stress yourself out, never cause stress? What do you think? That's the first question, I guess. If stress is the worst possible thing you can do to human life, don't you think that if you are alien, if you were a light worker, any religion, any politician, anybody on the planet that knows the best thing for human life is to live a life without stress, is any of these leaders saying anything about how to lower the stress on the planet? If you are angry, have you ever regretted something you said? Where when you're really, really happy and loving and having a really, really great time, can you ever remember wishing you wouldn't have said that? Like the woulda, shoulda, couldas when everything was going right, when you're happy and calm and loving. You know, does it happen to you more often when you're angry? Then wouldn't that suggest that you are smarter when you're calm, loving, and peaceful? I'm just saying, I tend to be a smarter person when I'm calmer and in control and loving, and I fuck up all the time when I get pissed off. And I can get pissed off when somebody does something to me. As soon as somebody does something to me and I react, I usually make my best mistakes then. So I'm just saying, does that happen to you? Because it happens to me and I feel so much calmer. I make really, really great decisions the more I'm in a great mood. That's how I went through school. I found the good in it. I was like, this is going to be the best year of my life. Bring it on. You want to say I can't handle this? You just watch it. I am going to show you something that I love it when somebody says that it's impossible to do. So, but that was the fool of me, is trying to prove that I could do it. And I put so much stress on my body that living a life trying to prove yourself all the time didn't quite work out so well. And to the point that it created enough health issues that says you got to stop what you're doing. And there's a future out there for you, but you're never going to be able to use your arms doing it. You can use your arms, move it up, and, function within every daily task you love doing, but you'll never be able to use your arms in labor ever again. It's all psychosomatic. I'm perfectly healthy as long as I don't use my arms. So the universe says I got to talk for a living. Peace out.